So, welcome to
Yeah,
another Inside Success podcast. Today, we're sitting down with someone who proves that finance leadership isn't just about numbers, it's also about judgment, courage, and long term vision. Mohamed Bellal has built his career across multinationals, publicly listed companies, joint ventures, and complex holding structures as well. In 2026, Mohamed was recognized as the Global Excellence and Leadership Awards at Dubai. He's also the creator of MPBT framework, Mindset, People, Process, and Technology, which we're very excited to learn more from his sharing today. Mohamed,
right.
welcome to the show. It's great to have you here with us today.
It's really my pleasure to have this opportunity, and I am very grateful for the Insight Success Management and their additional value addition through the time that we were in the conference. And today, I'm very also grateful to share also my insights with you, and thank you very much for the introduction. Okay.
Lovely. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
Mohamed.
yeah.
So let's start a bit differently. Most finance leaders are known for numbers, but not
Mm,
necessarily for narratives. So when you look
right.
back at your journey, what personal belief about money, value, or responsibility that shaped the way that you lead today, Mohammed?
It's of course a great question. In fact, most of the finance is trained about how about to reduce our costs or increase our returns. This is the normal way of digesting the finance hub. But
Mm,
in fact, in my view and in my understanding, is that it's about how or what we are optimizing. In fact, before we go to increase revenue or decrease costs, what we are optimizing. I learned that since my, my starting career in ExxonMobil, and I give you one hint.
sure.
My first manager was Mr. Ali Youssef, peace be upon him.
Mm,
He already died in the year 2007, and
mm,
I learned from him a lot. Okay, one of the hints that I learned from is that one day in the year 2000 we were having to decide to choose on a supplier, a big supplier related to logistics. Okay, so we were having two options: the cheapest one, okay, and the expensive one. Of course, it was the early of my career. I didn't digest at that time, but I learned a lot. Mr. Ali Yusuf chose the expensive one, which was very high expensive. Okay,
yeah.
so it was for me. It was very you can say surprising. I didn't digest why we are choosing higher expenses that other supplier. So he at that time he told that it's not about cheapest. It's about that this supplier are having the network, are having the locations, because we were doing business in fuel, this ExxonMobil petroleum and fuel and loops as well. So location is very important, and logistics. So this is what I have learned. I have learned that it's not, yani we are trained to move like we are optimizing for cost reduction, or we are optimizing for efficiency, if you want. But in fact, we should optimize for you can say resilience. We should
Yeah.
optimize for resilience. Okay, so this is one of the things that I learned based on your questions. That it's not, yani, I mean, you can say that cost reduction or the cheapest is not always the valuable. Even the expensive is not always wastage. Okay, or يعني overstating, for example. It's about how you are choosing to create value in the future, how you are choosing to create capabilities, to create new options in the future. So
Mm,
accordingly, yeah, you got the point. So
yes.
accordingly, it's about your decision, cost reduction or whatever, increase in your expenses and so on and so forth. It's not about that. It's not. It's about how you are aligning this to your future investment. So it's a different in mindset. So this is what I have learned, and this is exactly I'm replying to your question that end of the day, we are in 2026 and we are in the era of the rise of the machine. as I'm always saying. So we have to adopt a different mindset than
Yeah.
the finance strategy, decrease cost, and so on and so forth.
Yes, that's a very unique perspective. And as
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Mm.
it all boils down to value creation, how you can create more long-term values for your investors, your clients, your stakeholders, etc. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of that has shown in the recent achievement that you have, Mohammed. So please take me back
Exactly.
to Dubai 2026 when your name was announced at the Global Excellence and Leadership Award. What was the first thought
Right.
that crossed your mind?
Actually, this is a question, I'm always debating with my son. My son is a A plus student
Yeah.
in IG. Okay, he's very
Mhm.
intelligent, high IQ, and he's always debating with me that, okay, why you are pushing more? Why, you achieved what you achieved. Why you want to go on stage? You want to be in network and so on and so forth. And I'm always thinking with myself about that and what should be the reply. So I will tell you the first thing came in my mind, of course,
Yes.
but I'm just trying to tell you the story beyond that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, in fact, to think about once you are achieving things, is it the end of the story, or what? Is it the ego, or what? Okay. So I'm just reflecting that, is it the ego? Yes, it's ego, 100%. There is an ego in the things, but it's not about the ego. This is very good. It's not a bad thing, but
Mm,
the good thing is that you are controlling the ego, not letting the ego controls you. Okay, so how you know that you are controlling your ego and your ego is not controlling you? If you check on your addition through whatever
mm,
achievements, stage, being recognized or whatever, are you going to for the title? Are you going for like, look at me,
mm,
as they are saying? Or you are
yeah.
going exactly using this recognition, using this summit, using this presentations in order to align this with your value addition in your objective of life. Let me tell you very clearly, for me, if I'm thinking about what is my objective in life, I
Mm,
am saying that my objective is to making sure that my two kids
mm,
are on a continuous base of happiness, success in their personality and in their financials also returns. Okay,
mm,
this is
yeah.
my main objective. Okay, making podcast with you right now, making summit, making conference, elevating in my career. All of these are initiatives and pillars. Okay, they
Mm,
are not objectives. This is my
yeah.
intention. They are the things and the pillars that are moving to my main objectives. طبعا for me, this is my, everyone has his objective in life. Okay, so
Mm,
returning back to your question, what I felt is gratitude. Like,
yeah.
I have 26 years of experience through
Right.
multinationals, private, joint venture,
Mm,
and I'm feeling that I have to return something back to the small leaders, to my colleagues, okay,
mm,
in the same platform, and at the same time unlearning things. How I unlearn
mm,
that, I adopt some understanding that are different that my perspective, and I try the different perspectives. This is my the first thing about the
mm,
gratitude.
yeah.
I felt very gratitude for this prize or recognition. Okay,
Mm,
and this gives me yeah, some boost in uh, going further proactively in adding value, rather than sitting and saying like, look at me, I am the award winner. I am I am the first and the top 10, whatever top. It's
mm,
not about that at all. Believe me.
yeah.
Yani, if you put this perspective in you, you will get this top 10, not vice
Mm,
versa. You got the point?
yes.
Yani, while you are not focusing on being the first one to do that, the second one to do, or whatever, you create your value, okay, and adopt it and believe in it, okay, then the titles, the recognitions, the summits will come accordingly. This is my clear story last 5 years.
Wow. Mohammed, thank you
Yeah,
so much for sharing your thoughts process behind your objective as well as the
yeah,
pillars breakdown. It's very clear, crystal clear to me. And
yeah,
exactly as you mentioned, Mohammed, this award highlights and recognizes leaders who turn strategy into real growth and pushing forwards for even more achievements in the future. So
right.
let's turn this into a more risk aspect because I'm sure that in
Okay,
over 20 plus I think 26 years of experience that you have, Mohammed, you must have also faced some turning points where like you made a decision that, but it's feel very risky at one time, maybe even uncomfortable, but later on
right,
it proved very transformational. So I'm
right.
curious, like at that time, what gave you the confidence to move forward anyway?
Okay. You are talking about the ups and downs, the
Yes,
setback and
exactly.
the success. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. If you see my CV, you will find
Mm,
many disruptions, many additions, many failures. Okay. يعني through the 26 of years of experience in multinationals, publicly listed joint ventures, even private, don't think that the Bilal that is in front of you is like the perfect. There
mm,
is no any perfection. There is full of unlearning, full of some failures. Okay, who
mm,
I am learning and developing. Okay.
mm,
Um, Sometimes I didn't have some a time that I'm not having a job and I'm seeking
mm,
it. Sometimes I was very you can say that I am very rigid in choosing the right job while I'm not
right.
having a job, so that I am not leaning or downgrading my level of understanding and practice. You know,
Yeah.
I was very lucky to begin my road in career in ExxonMobil Petroleum, which
Mm,
is the biggest petroleum company in the world,
mm,
and it's in my perspective is it was a very great learning in the beginning of my career life, which is
mm.
adding up till date. Okay,
Yep.
so disruption of the career is a way. يعني يعني it's not about you go to a certain destination,
Mm,
but in fact, the assurance and the achievement is the journey itself. Yani while you are doing the things, you find that you did many. Sometimes you feel I'm feeling failure in things. Then I am learning. When I learn,
mm,
I found another opportunity. Going to Splimaco, Saudi Pharmaceutical Industries, publicly listed. I was working in strategy. This was an ad hoc situation, believe it or not,
yeah.
of time of a disruption in COVID years.
Mm,
Okay, it was an ad hoc. However, it was an ad hoc. It was a very core impact on my career in relationship with integration with the artificial intelligence
mm,
platform, which is needed now, as you know. Now we are
right.
talking about agentic AI. Yeah.
Yes.
So from disruption, there is an opportunity, and this is not
Mm,
theoretical. You can say that my experience is like that. You know,
yep.
I failed a lot, but I get achievement a lot based on my failures.
Mm,
Not based on my intelligence, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess all that experience must also teaches you to redefine growth, what it means to you, and must be different from what you have learned when you started your professional journey, right? So how has that shaped your definition of growth? I'm curious. Can you please share more?
Yeah, actually, this is طبعا a question which is we
Mm,
can take three
yeah.
podcasts for being for talking about it.
Yeah.
Growth is it's a very wide definition.
Mm,
I'm currently in the pharmaceutical business. Pharmaceutical business, I think the growth means that you are having a high level of horizontal registration for medicine, so
yeah.
that it takes time from 1 to 2 years, so that you can manufacturing and so on and so forth.
Mm,
Growth in relationship with private companies means the consistency of generations,
mm,
that they are updating their generations and their sons to go more and increase
mm,
their equity and so on and so forth.
yeah.
Growth in relationship with joint ventures means the alignment between the shareholders, okay, to move forward.
Mm,
So growth in itself, it's like the knife.
right.
You can go good, you can go bad, you know. But
Mm,
in fact, in my experience, that the most is the organizations that are going with the growth in one pillar only. Okay, I think they are not, they are making value destruction, not creation, but on the long or mid-term. Okay, if they are, I will tell you why.
Mm,
I've seen many companies who are focusing on revenue while disrupting the employees and the human capital trust. Okay,
mm,
I have seen many organizations as well in my career. I remember, who are focusing on the margins and the impact of the gross profit and so on and so forth, and not seeing the creation of some projects and
yeah.
innovation of some projects that would lead them in the
Mm,
future to have a very high exposure and impact positively on the market. And
mm,
I have seen as well, let me tell you also the story. I
yeah.
have seen companies
Mm,
where they are focusing on maximizing the shareholders' return in a speedy way while inheriting
mm,
some of the governance and regulations so
yeah.
that they get more shareholders' returns.
Mm,
And this makes them suffers currently
mm,
this impact and suffers from the reputation with
mm,
the government and so on and so forth. So I think even the duty of the CFOs currently,
mm,
it's my yani, perspective, is
yeah.
that to make sure that the system is not focusing on one of the pillars
Right.
and cannibalize the others, you know. Okay,
Mm,
this is one of the missions that gentlemen, you are take note while you are focusing on the revenue. Take note that you are disrupting some regulatory. You are
mm,
tuning to a certain methodology in cost allocation for the financials, for example, while you are working only for the we want the highest profit this year. You
mm,
know, so this is you. It's your role as a CFO to impact on that. Okay, and to
yeah.
be also stick to the regulations. Okay, so this in my perspective, growth is all of that. Yani the
Mm,
alignment between the main aspects of doing a business, the way we are doing the business, which is your model, your strategy. The second thing, you can say the ecosystem around this business that you want,
mm,
which is the ecosystem, the competition, and the third thing, which is very important, the abilities and the capabilities. What are your abilities and capabilities while you are choosing to invest in something? Is it very core and very stand up abilities and capabilities, or it will be diminished in the future? So this is what I'm addressing the growth. Okay, so growth is not just a word. We need to grow, for example, from
yeah.
5 billion to 10 billion. Okay, it's about the strategy to align the main pillar of doing a business to your main goals very wise and very consistently.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
totally echo your points, Mohammed. Growth isn't always about revenue, but it's also about governance maturity, leadership pipelines, and sustainable systems so that, like
right.
growth will comes in the future as well. But
Yeah,
when it comes to the CFO roles, Mohammed, I think there's still a misconceptions that the CFO is primarily the gatekeepers, only focusing on
yeah.
risk and cost control. I'm curious to learn more from your perspective. What separates the finance executives from a true strategic partner to the CEO?
Yeah, in fact, your question highlights two things يعني different than each other.
Mm.
I will tell you why.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most disrupting thing that the management or the CEOs or whatever thought or think that the CFO is like crunching the numbers, reviewing
Mm,
it, presenting it, and putting the things, and then we are deciding. This is
mm,
the main disruption. This is what the number one. Okay, so CFOs or whatever finance is out of our decision making. You can say kitchen. Okay,
right.
the second point, which is also obvious that. Okay, Mr. CFO and his team, okay, they will ask many questions. They will try to validate. They will do blah, 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 blah. Never mind, never mind. We
Mm,
will take the decision by hook or crook. Okay,
yeah.
this is, believe it or not, this is if I'm yani optimistic, I can say 70% of the market is like that, especially in the Middle East. Okay,
Mm,
so the other side of the answering the question is with the CEOs or the management is
Mm,
that you have to set the tone and your tone as the perspective that you are aligned with. You are, you can say, a value officer,
mm,
not a financial officer. Believe it or not,
right.
our role will go to a value officer. You are a value officer. You are valid, not you as a Bilal or as a or the individual. You
Mm,
as a perspective. The function of
right.
the CFO is very core in the decision making, where its mission is to make sure the alignment of the objective of the company
Mm,
moving forward. Okay, this is the highlight of the perspective through governance, through internal controls, through highlighting the human capital resources to what you need at a certain point in time. Okay, so coming to your question, that CFOs has to be understanding rightfully,
mm,
and the responsibility of that, not the management, the CFO himself. The CFO, with his leadership style, with his vast experience, he is the one who is responsible about the perspective of the management
mm,
towards the finance function, not
yep.
vice versa. Sometimes CFOs are
Mm,
telling like, oh, these guys are crazy. This board is very crazy, they are not knowing, or with all due respect, if that is the case, يعني you have to leave if you are sure your perspective. Okay, it's not about my way or highway. By the way,
mm.
it's not about that. It's
Yeah,
about that you it's about that you do your job to clarify to the management your main role and perspective. This is, I'm talking, take note, not a finance manager, not a
right.
controller. This is a CFO level, because there is
Mm,
a difference. Okay, CFO level means that you are a pillar
yeah.
in the decision making. This is what how I'm addressing that. Yeah,
Yes, very
yeah,
interesting
yeah,
perspective. I
yeah,
think being
yeah.
able to see like a bigger picture is not something that everyone can,
طبعا.
can do, especially at this high level where the decision
Right.
making, yeah, when you have the decision making power as well. So with that, so many responsibilities that the CFO has in his hands, Mohammed, I'm curious, like what kind of, like skill sets is or, mindset that the CFO has to be adopting in order for him or her to perform the job.
First, and يعني, you can say the main point is your mindset and your perspective. Okay, are you seeing
Right.
yourself, what you are seeing yourself? Are you seeing yourself as like a finance manager? Okay, يعني go from
Yeah.
your function to your title, not vice versa.
Mm.
This is the main topic. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you define the CFO has to define himself.
Mm.
He is working currently as a finance manager? Why is he having a title of a CFO?
Mm.
What is the definition? Okay, this is number one. What he needs. Okay, number two is the alignment with management.
Mm.
Is he aligned? Is he
Yeah.
aligned with the management perspective? What are the leadership style of this management? Okay, what is
Mm.
the environment? Okay, what are the group around him? Okay,
Mm.
and what is the situation he is in? For example, okay, this
Mm.
is not fears. There is reality. Okay, the definition process is very important. Define. Okay, and then the second skill, the measuring point.
Mm.
Yani you are defining the situation, the environment, the group, and the leadership style of your management or board. The
Mm.
second thing is measuring. Measure how you will go from there. Is this project that it is whatever 2 billion project is valid? Okay, how you will go to convince, for
Mm.
example, the board that this is not a valid project.
Mm.
Okay, are you having the gut to have that? And end of the day, for your information, it's a risky. CFO level is a risky designation if it is
Mm.
if it is moving with the same function. Okay, why
Yeah.
risky? Because it should, there should be an alignment. You can
Mm.
never see a CEO and the CFO with different perspectives.
Right.
They have to be aligned. I'm talking CEO as a function, real function, and the CFO as a real function. Because now in the market, we are seeing titles without values. Number one,
Mm.
and we are seeing. I'm seeing in the network.
Yeah.
We are seeing also titles without real functions and
Mm.
stream out.
Mm.
So we need to align both. We need to align the function to the title, not the title to the function. يعني because I am having a core function in experience, I need to align the function to the title. Not the title to the function. Yeah, and because I am having a core function in experience, I need to align the title to the function. Yeah, and because I am having a core function in experience, I need to align the function to the title. I am now the CFO in something. Not I am being given the title. Then you go, you know,
Mm.
you got my point. If I can
Yes.
clarify more. No, you are creating your value, and that's why you are the CFO. Then we need you to align with to tell us if I we are wrong or right. Not we need to be a yes man. For example,
Mm.
uh, you have to, yeah, that's it. يعني. I don't want to elongate, but يعني,
Yeah.
I think my view is clear.
Right, yes, definitely. And I think
Yeah,
that ties me back to the question surrounding your framework that you developed, Mohammed, the MPBT, which surrounds
yeah,
mindset, people, process, technology, with mindset at the core, as we discussed. So I'm
yeah.
curious, like, if you had to describe the MPBT framework in one sentence to the CEO, what would you say?
In one sentence, oh my
Yes.
God, yeah.
Yes.
In one sentence, طبعا let me define first the
Mm,
يعني PBT, which
sure.
is the mindset, the process.
Mm,
طبعا mindset, people, process, and technology.
yeah.
Okay, all are four pillars, and the main pillar is the mindset,
Mm,
which is the orchestrator of the things. Okay, so if I could tell a sentence to the CEOs that in any city, in Mr. CEO or Mr. Board, in any situation you have a core decision,
mm,
please, before doing the decision, evaluate the four pillars. Okay, the
mm,
impact of your decision on the four pillars, not one
mm,
pillar. Your mindset, if you decide something which is different than the objective,
mm,
sorry, is different than your strategy, you have to see what is the impact on the people, what is the impact on the process, what is the impact on the technology you are getting. We are seeing some companies who are having a very high tech
mm.
technology in their resources, while
Yep.
they don't have the capabilities. Take care. They don't have the capabilities. So
Right.
the technology will be scattered, okay? And
Mm,
the capabilities will be diminished. And we are seeing the same time, we are having a very high capabilities,
mm,
like guys who are being titled CFO, they are having CPAs, CMAs, and so on and so
mm,
forth. And
yeah.
they are doing like finance controllers,
Right.
believe it or not. Okay,
Mm,
so assuring that you to assure that you are aligned with these four aspects, you have to review. Okay, some CEOs or some boards or some management are going very speedy to go some projects,
mm,
okay, which is a very high revenue and high impact potentially and high you can say net worth, okay,
mm.
in even short or medium term future, but they miss something. You know, they know
Yep.
the market, they review right the market, they review right the operational process,
Mm,
but the abilities and capabilities are not there to be built. Okay,
right.
so they go to the market, they go to the projects, and then they stuck in the middle. Oh, we
Mm,
did. Okay, we need to eliminate somebody and get another who are core in whatever, and blah 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 blah. You got the point.
yeah.
So before that, you have to assess the MBBT, which is the mindset, the process, the people,
Mm,
and the technology. So I can tell you also how
sure.
you can say how I not I create. It's not a creation. It's
Mm,
like reflection. Okay,
yep.
you know, this is a reflection from what? If I can tell you plainly, this
Mm,
is a reflection from the main four aspects for the Homo sapiens or the human being. Okay,
mm,
we are having an emotional aspect, we are having a psychological aspect, we are
yep.
having a mental aspect, and we are having a physical aspect.
Exactly.
All we are talking by that by four. Believe it or
Mm,
not, you can check. Okay,
yes.
so they are the four pillars or that we are moving forward, right?
Mm,
Same as that's why I say that. Okay, the mindset, which is the mental and reasoning. Okay, the people, which is having emotional. Okay, and also reasoning. Okay, the process. Okay, which is the physical. If you
yep.
want related to the companies. Okay, and the psychological process, the around how you are seeing your people, how you are maintaining. Are you maintaining this? Moving irrelevant to certain regulations for what? Okay,
Mm,
so. For what? Psychologically. So you are believing, and I want one thing I want to tell that your decision is based on your ethics through the lens of your intelligence. Okay. So sometimes many are taking decisions which is irrelevant, for example, for governance. Okay. Some others are not. Okay. End of the
Mhm.
day, it depends on their ethical values, however they are intelligent or not. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that the MBBT maintain, you can say, a stability
Mm.
in the way you are doing the business onwards. Okay, you make sure. Even myself, when I
Yep.
took a decision with my team, I ask myself, this
Mm.
decision will impact on whatever. If I change Mahmoud to this location, what will the impact emotionally? What's the impact on the other side of the team? What is the impact of the process, and so on
Mm.
and so forth.
Yes, wonderful. Thanks so much
Yeah,
for sharing that framework. I think it's super helpful for our audiences out there who also wants to step into this finance industry as well. So before we
yeah,
close, Mohammed, I would like to leave our audiences here with one takeaways or a couple of lessons or key lessons from your experience, Mohammed. So if you are to give
yeah.
advices to the aspiring finance entrepreneur out there, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Number one is transparency. You have to do your business with transparency, and you have to accept your vulnerability. Okay, you have to accept your failures. That these failures are the unlearnings of your progress.
Mm.
Okay, this is number one. Number two, and I'm telling here the CFOs that related to the internal controls. Okay,
Mm.
that the point is that the failure in internal control, the failure in the internal control, is not about bad people.
Mm.
Okay, it's about the bad system that can make the good people in an impossible situation where they do two things. Either they will move consistently with the bad model,
Mm.
or they, at a certain point in time, they can manipulate.
Mm.
So this is very important how you see the gaps in your system. Don't see it like, oh, this guy made like that. I'm not defending the bad people, but I am
Mm.
trying to put the big picture. The bad
Right.
people are bad because you create system which is having bugs. Okay, so
Mm.
rather than pointing finger, make sure and create systems that enable people to do the right thing, however they are bad or not.
Mm.
Yeah, you get the point. This is one of the
Yeah.
main. The third thing in relation to the investor, in the investment, in the investment decisions. Investment decisions is not only based on figures. Okay,
Mm.
cost benefit analysis. Some capabilities cannot be triggered by cost benefit analysis.
Mm.
Sometimes what you are feeling from a certain abilities were not there, while your board are telling that all is fine, we are having the reputation, we are having the network, but at the same time, you know that there is bugs in the abilities and capabilities. So to stand and tell the truth is very dear, but it is very vital in the long term. Okay, at a point in time, anybody you are, you can say, contradicting
Mm.
with the board, for example, end of the day, again, the one who is trusting himself as a CFO, functional, he will not get any irritability to move on from his designation or not, but to do the right thing in his perspective, okay, and to
Yeah.
have a protection as well as a growth with the board. Okay, so this is very vital for the real
Mm.
CFOs that
Yeah.
don't be shy to tell the truth. Okay, and sometimes I want to say that sometimes strategic courage
Mm.
is not sometimes is going with the biggest bet.
Yeah.
Sometimes strategic courage is having the, you can say, having the discipline, okay,
Mhm.
to move away from bad structure.
Right.
You got the point? Yeah,
Yes.
moving away from, sometimes it's a good decision. Yeah,
Mm.
sometimes the best transformational
Yeah.
decision is that you are not taking it. This
Right.
is very important. I don't know if the time will engage or not, but I can tell you one story very
Mm,
impressive.
sure.
Are we can go forward or
Yes. I
in
think we
2 minutes?
yes, in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry for
yeah,
that.
yeah. In 2 minutes,
Mm,
easily. This is what I am
mm,
understanding. This is not theoretical.
mm,
It was a time that I have to decide on as a CFO that this project have been addressed is valid or not. This project was with a very famous petroleum industry in the Middle East.
right.
We was to do with it, okay, and all were fine. The board all will fine. This is a 400 million
Mm,
projects. We don't want to lose it. We don't want to lose the reputation. But at the same time, after my math and modeling, I found that yeah, the way we address the market is right. The way will do with competitors is right. But in fact, the
mm,
abilities and the capabilities are not in its place. Okay,
mm,
and I found even make different scenarios and found the same results. That end of the day, it will be a destroyer for us. We will not allocate the 400 million as we should be. Okay,
mm,
I was insisting on that, and luckily the main board member was with me, and yani it's our was were six board members.
mhm.
The main one was with me, and we took a decision, but by many struggles, yani, that we
Yes.
will not go by that. Okay, and after 2 years. Believe it or not, after 2 years, we know that this project that took by our competitors has failed down for the same
Mm,
reasons
right.
I was telling. It's not for us. Sometimes, again, transformational decision. Sometimes, if you don't take it, it's very valid. We
Yeah.
allocated the 400 million through different joint ventures, and
Mm,
we became profitable.
yeah.
That's why
Wonderful.
yeah.
Mm,
So the strategic courage is not about that you are going with the biggest spec. Strategic courage is about to have the discipline that you
mm,
may get away, okay,
yeah.
from. I am telling you about how to take a investment decision where there is a contradiction with the board, for example. Okay, so it's about your math, and it's about your feeling. Feeling it's coming from also a base of science, okay, in the things, okay. The abilities and the capabilities are core main aspect in having an investment decision. It's not only the market, it's not only the you can say the way you are addressing a business with a very big market share, for example, but it's about as well your abilities and capabilities, not now, but in the future. Okay, many decision making investments they go forward and they stuck after 2 to 3 years. Okay, so
Mm,
what's happened? They make what? They make a capital commitment to a bad structure, while they didn't know that in the beginning. Okay,
mm,
who can tell them this sign? You as a CFO has to digest. It's not about making realistic, optimistic, scenarios and send them in reports and so on and so forth. It's not about that at all. It's about that you are enabling the volatile ecosystem that you are in. You are doing the scenarios not like show that gentlemen, we did our jobs, take it, Mr. Management or board office and so on. No, you are enabling. I will tell you an example.
yes.
Very clear example. When Russia, if you are having a supplying from Russia, for example, and this happened, okay, if you are having a supply from Russia, for example, in the year 22, 23, okay, and if it is very lower than the Chinese
Mm,
supplier, for example, and then you say that, okay, we will adopt these guys in Russia, very good, very technical, impacting long term, logistics, everything. And then when the Chinese are telling you why you didn't, then you say, no, 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 you are very, very, very high price. We will not deal with you. Thank you very much.
mm,
Okay. This is
yeah.
a decision, right?
Mm,
But here, the decision is missing many. The things about you are enabling your system and your team as well in the volatile ecosystem. It's
Mm,
not the wise experience that you are eliminating certain main supplier because if you get the deal. It's not about now, it's about the future. Okay. So you have to be parallel communicating with the suppliers. However, you are not doing the work with them now. Okay. So that you can have the impact and the capabilities can be created at a certain point in time. Of course, we know Russia, geopolitical impact, Russia, Ukraine, and what
mm,
happened if the stop of the logistics and the Red Sea and so on and so forth. Many companies, the profit margin has been decreased because of that.
yeah.
Okay,
Mm,
but others they were building a systems that there were some scenarios is happening. They are aligning with different portfolio of suppliers. They are networking with them. They are setting their operations to just have coffee even in China. You
mm,
know, are assuring the things for the time that the business is volatile. So it's not
right.
about that you are putting your all swords for the current time. It's about in front, upfront. And of course, we know that our ecosystem, as you know, geopolitically, politically, so even socially, is changing. You know,
Mm,
so we have to address that by a very updated management.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Yes, wonderful. Mohammed, I
yeah.
think we've covered a lot of ground today, and this has been
Yes.
so far a very insightful conversation. You've shown
Thank
us
you.
that behind every balance sheet is judgment, behind every transformation is mindset, and behind every strong organization is leadership willing to make tough calls. So before we wrap up this call, Mohammed, what are some of the best channels for the audiences here who want to follow your next chapter and follow your steps closely? What are some of the channels that you would recommend them following you?
Yeah, actually, my main channel is the LinkedIn. I'm always posting the update and the progress, as well as, of course, the social media, my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm a guy of, you can say, a multiple perspective. I
Yes.
have my reality and myself. I like music.
Mm,
Okay, not only finance. I like music. I like you can say dancing. So I'm having, kind of also this is maybe my last advice that for
yes.
any CFO or if any somebody is working fiercely in the core of finance, you have to build up your life. Okay, we are not built to go finance, believe it or not. After
Yes.
all this, we are not built to go finance. We are built to be happy while we are moving in life. Okay, successfully. Okay, so
Mm,
happiness is different than success. Okay, so
yeah.
in order to trigger the happiness in the time of the tight, aggressive board meeting or whatever, you have to tune and you have to distress by going in life, yani in the life itself, because actually it's not about you are having a certain track to go. I didn't tell you, I will end by my beginning while I am telling you the objective of my life is my kids and
Right.
how I want to let them consistent in the personal point of view and on the fund, of course, or financial point of view. Let me end this by that end of the day. If I am doing this objective, so I am losing myself as Mohammed Bilal and
Mm,
going forward, which you will be also granted. Good. This is good because your kids are the extension of your personality. That's fine.
mm,
But while you are doing that, don't miss the four pillars I told, which is the emotional, the physical, and the mental, okay, and the psychological. You have to be aligned. طبعا as much as you can. You cannot, nobody is perfect, but you have to align. You have to ask yourself in each week, I did my job good, but actually, what is my life? What happened with my life? Did I was happy? Am I happy or not? Okay,
mm,
what could I do to be happy? Okay, so alignment is very good and impacting on the stress happening in the financial perspective. You don't know, financial stress is very high. You
yeah.
have the board meeting, you have the decision making, you have even the reporting, governance, the financials. Everything is comes to you if you are not having the time to align with your family, to align with your life, okay, to see what is your real hope is while you are in grade 6 or grade 5.
Mm,
This is the reality. This is our reality. When we were children, this is our reality, in fact. But and as a matter of fact, our life gets off these trains in order to move forward. Okay, so we have to move very wisely.
Yes, wonderful. Mohammed, thank you so much for taking us inside your journey, for sharing your wonderful mindset as well as the advices for the entrepreneurs out there who wants to stay grounded in the finance world. Congratulations again on the well-deserved
Thank you.
global
Thank you.
recognition, and can't wait to see what you unfold with your next chapter. Yeah.
Inshallah, inshallah. I think that I'm having as a speaker note in April
Mm.
in Riyadh. Okay, of course
Mm.
I'm sitting in Riyadh, so I'm
Yes.
very welcoming that, and I'm very eager to share our perspectives and communicate with your team. Inshallah.
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mohammed, again. And I think
Thank you.
that wraps
Thank
up
you.
the podcast for today. Thank you so much for our listeners who tune in, and until next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.